So we said when we done the TaylorMade Stealth video that we had something special to test. We've got something even more special today.
Let's see it.
In this box. Top secret, this boob.
Top secret.
It is, isn't it?
It is.
What we have in here, ladies and gentlemen, is the brand new Titleist Vokey SM9 wedges, unreleased. First of all, do you want to put a massive shout out to Clubhouse Golf and Titleist for sending these down for us pre-release so we can test them. We're over at the Grove golf course today. It's a stunning course and we're here to test the Titleist SM9s. Let's go to Chipping Green. Let's go through what is new with these clubs. They've sent me the 50, the 54 and the 60, so exactly the clubs that I play in the SM8s that are currently in my bag. But there's some changes that's been made to these models and I'm sure a lot of you at home are quite keen to see what they are. So should we go over there, boob?
Let's go.
Let's go over there. Right, so over here at the Chipping Green, and we've been sent, like I said, the 50, the 54 and the 60 in the same grinds that I play in my current SM8s. There are some changes to these wedges though. So there's a new look on the back of the wedge with a slight redesign of the already stunning SM8s. Not much has changed, but there are little subtle details in there which are different, as you can see. There's still 6 grind options available as there was in the SM8s. They have moved the CG lower in the higher lofts and higher in the lower lofted wedges to promote a lower, more penetrating ball flight. They've introduced a progressive hosel length by loft, so the higher lofted wedges have a longer hosel and the lower lofted wedges have a shorter hosel. They've added weight into the toe without it being visible to the player looking down at the club. Titleist have also introduced a new groove cutting process for more consistent grooves which will result in higher spin and a tighter tolerance. The lower lofted wedges, so 46 through to 54, have a narrower, deeper groove pattern, whereas the higher lofted wedges from 56 all the way up to 62 have a wider, shallower groove pattern. They've also heat treated all of the faces, which gives the grooves a longer span of life, and there are still 3 finishes on the new SM9s, which is Tour Chrome, Jet Black and Brush Steel. Right, so along with being sent the 50, the 54 and the 60 as well, I've also been sent out 3 56 degree wedges, all with different bounces, all with different grind options, and they're all stamped up with the Team Titleist logo. So the 56 degree and the Brush Steel is 12 degrees of bounce and it is a D grind. It's also got Team Titleist stamped on there, which looks absolutely insane. The Tour Chrome finish, which is this one here, has got Vokey stamped on it. This is a 10 degrees of bounce and an S grind, and the black, which is probably my favourite, 56 degree, 8 degrees of bounce, and it's an M grind, and it's got all of the Bob Vokeys stamped on it as there. So if I pull out the 54 in the SM9 and I pull out the 54 in the SM8, there are obviously some clear differences on the back. The Vokey design has now been moved from across the back down to the bottom. They've introduced a bit of a shallower, more narrow line that goes through the back. Bob Vokey still at the top. SM9 still at the same side as the SM8, but they look good, don't they, boo? This isn't too bad. This is about a year and a half old, but you can see it's worn. I don't think it was as jet black as this one when I first received them, but they do look good. They look really, really good. So, right, so as always with Titleist, like I said, there are 101 options with regards to the grind that you can have, the bounce that you can have. So there will be a club in this set which will suit you perfectly. As regular viewers will know, I'm probably mega excited to use these to see if they're going to go in the bag. I currently game the SM8s. So how this video is going to work, we're going to hit some chips around the Chipping Green here at the beautiful Grove. We're going to go over to the range, hit some fuller shots, 50, 75, 100. Head over to the swing warehouse because I've gathered some numbers on these clubs as well, and they are good. And then finally we'll head out onto the course, hit some approaches into some of the greens here because it is stunning. SM9s, brand new SM9s. Your boys have been sent them, unreleased. Got to hide the box though so no one sees it. Let's see how they feel.
Take you home with me. You're playing, can't bother reading your message. No, I'm not here for your show, wasn't asking. But I've been quitting what you're taking. I've been sipping cause I'm making no regrets, I'm not insistent. Just gonna be what you were, I'm not missing you, yeah. I'm fucking down with all this shit you told me. Just regretting that I met you, damn you hold me down.
Right, so some little pitch shots, chip shots hit around the green. The first thing which is noticeable, which Titleist have sort of claimed that they've done, and I think it's made a massive difference, is they've put the CG, they've put a lot more weight in the toe compared to the SM8. So if I show you the comparison, these are both 60-degree wedges. You can see around here, it's a lot thicker, a lot more sort of bulbous in comparison to the SM8. They've added quite a bit of weight down the back there. Hopefully you can pick that up on the camera. And for me, it just means that the face is a little bit easier to turn over. It wants to square up at address more than what the SM8s do. That was my only criticism of the SM8s, is sometimes maybe on off-centered strikes, the face wasn't as stable. I felt it had a tendency to maybe open up a little bit if you didn't catch it right out the middle. But with that weight put into the toe, high in the toe on the 60-degree wedge, it's made it a lot more stable. So for me, definite improvement has been made there. Something that they needed to address in the SM8, which they have in the SM9. Feel off the face, it's exactly the same. It's a Bob Vokey wedge. It's soft, it's responsive. We're getting loads of spin on these greens here. There's a bit of morning dew on them as well, so they are zipping a little bit. But as for the chipping test, the little touches, feels around the green, I hit the 50, the 54 and the 60, and it has passed with flying colours. Let's go onto the range, hit some fuller shots, see if we can notice that little bit of a lower ball flight that they've claimed as well. Right. How good is this range, by the way? Unfortunately, we've jumped in someone else's bay, so we haven't got a full set of pyramids. We do like a pyramid, don't we?
Pyramids there.
Lovely little set of pyramids. Gonna hit some full shots with the 60, the 54 and the 50. Really interested to see how these fly. Like I said, with the weight sort of and the CG moved around, hopefully it's gonna be a bit of a lower ball flight. Let's check how these fly.
Take you home with me.
We got a restock.
Fresh pyramid.
Fresh pyramids. Fresh pyramids for the 50. Let's ruin the pyramid.
Can't bother reading your message, no I'm not here for your show, wasn't asking. But I've been quitting what you're taking, I've been sipping cause I'm making no regrets, I'm not assistant, just gonna be what you were, I'm not missing you, yeah. I'm fucking down with all this shit you told me, just to grab that I met you, damn you hold me down. All my fortune's just been wasted, all gone. Oh, you made me feel low. You thought there's a cure, I went and let you be.
Right, so some full shots hit. The biggest thing that I'm noticing between the difference between the SM8 and the SM9 is that extra weight up in the toe. High toe, CG moved up. It's definitely helping me square that face off without having to try to do it. Let's head over to the swing warehouse. Like I said, there's interesting numbers on these. You're not going to want to miss it. Let's go have a look at them. Right, so down the swing warehouse, got the GC quad behind us, and we've got the 50, 54 and 60 of the new SM9s. They do look good, don't they, in all three finishes. Really, really nice. So we're gonna get some numbers, 4 to 5 shots with each. I know sort of my numbers roughly with the SM8, so anything close to or an improvement on that would be great, but I just want to see what the spin numbers are, what it's launching at, and see if they're consistent with the yardages that I know I hit my SM8. So I'm really hoping to see a lower launch. I'm hoping these are gonna come out a little bit more flighted. I'm gonna put that green back out to 119. Right, let's give these a bash then. They do feel a little bit more stable in the old hands. Take that every day of the week.
I don't wanna take you home with me. No, I'm not here for your show, wasn't asking. But I've been quitting what you're taking, I've been sipping cause I'm making
Right, final club, SM9, 60 degree. And then we can look at these numbers, see what they are telling us.
Just to grab that I met you, then you hold me down. All my fortune's just been wasted, all gone. Oh, you made me feel low. You thought there's a cure, I went and let you be. Now I know for sure I don't wanna take you home with me. Whoa.
Finito. Pull the numbers up, see what is different. Right, there you go, 4 shots hit with each wedge. Started with the 50 degree, moved into the 54, then onto the 60. Numbers are pretty much bang on exactly where I'd expect them to be honest. So you've got the 50 degree, which was launching at 27.9 degrees. You've got a backspin total of 9,282 on average. You've got a peak height of 34 yards and a carry distance, total and carry distance of 121 yards. Pretty much bang on. Exactly where I'd expect to see them numbers. What you'll see in these numbers that I like as well is the sort of consistency as we go through the club. So as we move on to the 54, the launch angle goes up to 29 degrees, so 1.5 degree-ish difference. It is a high lofted club, so we've seen a nice increase, but it's still a little bit lower than what it says on the tin. 10,668 average backspin with a peak height of 31 yards, so 3 yards lower than what the 54 degree was. Carrying at 108 yards, total distance at 108 yards. Again, really, really tight dispersion. I was an average 14 yards to the pin, so again, good numbers from there. Finally, going on to the SM9 60 degree, we've got a peak height of 32.4, so again, 3 degrees increase on what the 54 was. We've got a spin at 11,164, so call it 11,000. A peak height of 29 yards, which is a little bit down on what the others was. I didn't think I strike that as well, and a total distance of 94 yards. They do what they say on the tin. They do what every single Vokey wedge, they perform. Consistent numbers, consistent carry distance, consistent spin. I like them. I do like them a lot. Let's get back out onto the course anyway. So there you go, as you'd expect, super consistent numbers. They always are with Vokeys. Finally, we're out on the course. We've picked the second hole, downhill. I've just sapped it. Got about 120 yards with slope playing about 115. So I'm gonna hit some shots in with the 50. We'll then head over to the third. I'm gonna hit some shots in with the 54, see if I can hit a few lower ones, and then finish on the beautiful fourth, par 3, little river in there. Let's pop some 60 degrees up, see if we can get some spin. Starting off with the 50 degree first. On a good line. Solid bit of zip on that.
Whoa, whoa, I don't wanna take you home with me.
One hop stop, that's what we like.
I don't wanna take you home with me. I don't get what you're saying. All of these games you're playing. Can't bother reading your message. No, I'm not here for your show, wasn't asking. But I've been quitting what you're taking. I've been sipping cause I'm making no regrets, I'm not assistant. Just go and be what you were, I'm not missing you, yeah. I'm fucking down with
3 very average chip shots there. This is probably my favourite hole on the course, it's beautiful. So just to close out the video before I give you my summary on the next tee, I'm gonna hit some 60 degrees into this, pop it up, hopefully not put it in the water, because Clubhouse is giving us some nice stamped up Pro V1, so hopefully I don't put them in the water.
when it lets you be. Now I know for sure I don't wanna take you home with me.
So, Vokey SM9s, what do I think? If I'm being totally honest with you, I love them. Will they be going in my bag? Absolutely. I think they're going to be going in a lot of players' bags this year. They're certainly going to be going in a lot of tour players' bags this year. They're worth a test. Go hit them yourself. The big improvements for me, as I've mentioned, is the CG being moved high up into the toe. There's a lot more forgiveness, where it seems like there's a lot more forgiveness around that sort of area of the club, which is something I think they needed to improve. As always, massive thank you to Clubhouse Golf and Titleist again for getting these out to us early so we can make this video. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. If you want to get your hands on these new wedges, you can head over to Clubhouse Golf's website. The link to their website is in the description below. As always, G's, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Do not leave the video without leaving a like. Hit the subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one.